at your mats. Hey, ha, you know what? I said I'm walking now, trying to save my feet and toes. I said, you know what? Maybe I don't get enough likes and stuff like that because I ain't no fancy dresser. I ain't got the gym suits matching with the headbands and stuff. That's what y'all accustomed to. But when you go on a walk and you exercise, people have, well, I used to go to the track. And guess how? You look how you look. You didn't have all that fancy stuff. So I'm sure there's fancy people out here. But hey, thanks for coming on Walk at your mats. Jump on your bikes. Line up if you're walking wall to wall. Get your mats if you're stretching out. Start your treadmills. And we're talking cults. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. I didn't know I was in a cult. When I went to South Carolina to my grandmother's church. It's not churches. That's another one of these penal colonies. Oh, hi, my name is Vicki. Thanks for joining me on my walk in the penal colony, aka USA, aka America. One man's prison is another man's freedom. So even now when I look at shows, as African American shows, they say, "Oh, we'll sit it down south and they'll straighten it out." Oh, straighten me out. How can it straighten you out? You ain't get in touch with the fact that you was incested and it was okay by any male at all. You'd have been touched and touched and touched on. Then call names because it's your femininity. Like the universe. I came out with an ass. What you want me to do? Humans, when they walk, they hind part and stuff, that stuff move. What do you want me to do? All right, well, let me get back to the codes. So, I didn't know. You see, with me and Audrey going to see the hanging tree, I didn't know. I didn't know it was a cult. I was groomed. And when I tell you groomed, I mean, my mother had a fight on her hands. I was totally groomed. We couldn't talk about Jesus or God at home because that's blasphemous. We're not good enough to have his name come out of our mouth. But we go to church on Sunday, and as long as you're in church, you can mention him. Now, whose name you could mention at home all the time was the devil, Satan, Lucifer, all those names. But it's for the grooming process, I have learned. Much love to Leah Remini and her family. Long life. So, the first thing they started with was, "You're a liar." Everyone, me, my cousins, my aunts, we were all liars. Everyone knew. Everyone knew. And they would say, "So don't believe nothing come out that child's mouth. She's a liar." So everybody said, "Oh yeah, she is, she is, she is." See, that's the grooming process, I feel. So Nothing I can say to anyone when the incesting began. There's nothing I can say to anyone. Just that fast. And I remember saying, no, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. No, I was telling the truth. But I had to be set up as a liar in case I started talking about the incesting. And then everyone would say, well, your grandmother, aunts, and them, they already said you're a liar. So I never called my daughter a liar. Nope. Nope. At times I may think it deep within me, but I will not bring it out my mouth, especially as a child, because that's a pedophile's tool. She had to say, my mama gonna believe me. She had to say it. My mother gonna believe me because she ain't never called me a liar. So, I was a liar, and I needed Jesus. Now, as a Lutheran in East New York, I was, when I came to myself, my mother was already in the Lutheran Church in East New York. But we could talk about Jesus and God at home. I remember listening to a few conversations. I was happy for those conversations because the other ones was usually drinking and it even with everybody fighting. So we could say that. But then when I went to South Carolina and I spoke Jesus, what do you know about Jesus? Keep his name out your mouth. Okay. Or, see, if you say, like what cousin said, Jesus help me. Jesus, why would Jesus help a devil like you? A lying devil like you? Wow. Keep his name out your mouth. I was thoroughly confused. Weren't we Christians? I couldn't understand it. Then everything that I was told to do as far as cooking, cleaning, keeping up the house, not for me. It was for a man. So now, I was a liar in the cult, Southern Baptist cult, who was supposed to get a man. Anyway, so that's what the liar thing is about. So no one would believe me. If I said, well, they churching on you in church, they touch me on, no one would believe me. Everybody knows. So, as an adult, when I get around another adult who says, my child just lied, I said to myself, setting that child up to be churched. Because nothing she says, nothing the child says, will the mother believe because she's convinced herself that the child is a liar. So when the child come back and say, Mommy, that man touched me between my legs, the mother say, oh, shut up, you lying, and the man knows it. So, everything was going to be, how are you going to take care of a man? Oh, no, what man is going to want you? Yes. If you can't cook his food. What man is going to want you if you can't clean his house? What? Oh, you'll only get disgusting, low-life men. Because yet, we was another thing, we were nasty. I never took a... I'm telling you, the whole time I was down there, the most that I got was, Vicki, that chicken was fried nice and crispy. Your husband gonna love it. Grooming me. So we went to church all the time. A lot of it, I try to say I don't block things out, but I think a lot of that church stuff, I had to block out for my own survival. I had to block it out. But it was horrible. It's horrible. And it started, like y'all say, oh, Sunday, hey, oh, we got to church on Sunday. I convinced myself it, but it's the worst day to me. I love Mondays. I hate Sundays. I hate any religious days. Sunday agony will start Saturday. Y'all going to church on Sunday? You remember the song y'all sung? Because y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't tell you nothing. You know you're lazy, you stupid. It just got the devil in. The devil's by you. Devil do, you devil in, you devil around, you devil all up you, in your pants, in your, you just a devil. In the Lutheran church, I really didn't know about the devil. It wasn't a big deal. He had such little significance. When I went down to that Southern Baptist church, that's where I first was introduced to the devil. Whew! I didn't know. Whew! And when Flip Wilson, I tell you, if you go back and listen to the other tapes, I've mentioned this before, when Flip Wilson came out with The Devil Made Me Do It, all the excuses in the world. So now, the cousins can openly pinch your titties. Because, you know why? The devil made them do it. Right. They can feel up on your ass. And they'll say, that boy got that devil in him. Go on, boy, with your devilment. And I'm standing there like, really? This is all? This is all? So, of course, it advanced into incesting, killing, choking, punching, just physical abuse, because according to them, we like it and we tempted them. We tempt men. In church, if you're touched by anybody, you tempted them. Something you did. Maybe when your titties crawled out your bra and said, hey, I don't know. Somehow you switched. So, I hated that. Everything was excused. Every horror was excused because they had the devil in them. And my cousins, they would come out and say it. They would come out and say, Flip Wilson, the devil made me do it. And all of them would laugh. And go on. And you just try to close in on yourself. You're trying to say, what am I doing to make them do that? And then you go to church on Sunday and you hear the Reverend say, see, I can see some of y'all sitting in the pew right now with your legs wide open. So you're like, my legs not open. I'm not showing anything. showing with them low-cut dress come to church. How you gonna worship God with your titties hanging all over the place? I'll be like, if I was any more covered, I'd have to have metal surrounding me. And now I know as an adult, them perverts, it don't take nothing for them to do that. And the fact that you set it up. So, it's almost time for our break. So I didn't know I was in the cult. There's way more. Trust me, this little half hour could not cover it. Whew, yeah. I do a couple of years every day. I can do a couple of years every day, and it still would not be able to cover it. It's our break time. I'm trying to stay a little to schedule. And yeah, because when you walk with me, y'all gonna be getting emails. My Facebook friends, I don't know how I'm gonna do it on YouTube. I'm walking, y'all. But y'all can go on YouTube. Just listen to the song. I said I'm walking now. I have thousands of likes in my channel. You know why? Because if the most simplest thing is for me to put money in your pocket is to hit a freaking like button, I do. I'm on YouTube and Facebook all the time. Like. If my 1 penny with your 99 others make $1 for you, I'm all right with it. So y'all can like the song. It's on YouTube. But you'll be getting a cleaner version through Spotify and through the link that I'll be sending out. Yeah. Come walk with me. Oh, I'm so happy that the master, Ron Jackson, master guitarist. Oh, I can see all of my glasses. I tried to get rid of it, y'all. So that's why I don't dress up. Y'all gotta go with the dress up crowd. And you know what? I'm so happy that I wake up to exercise. When I was in my 30s, I woke up to exercise. Y'all wake up to go to work. I woke up to exercise. Then before that, I woke up to go to babysitter. But that's why now I wake up to exercise. And if all you ever did was wake up and go to work, start focusing on waking up and just walking a half hour. Don't lay there. Don't do it. Don't sit no 3 hours in no doctor's office. Don't do it. Yeah. Cause if I start walking now, they'll cut me up until I'm just a no. Yeah. That's why I have to exercise for me. When I look back, I was like, you mean I was setting this stuff into motion all those years ago? I kept saying, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to have at least 20,000 million bottles of subscription. I definitely don't want to go to no doctors that I know hate my guts. He don't know why the hell he hate me, but he know he do. All right, let's get back to the cults. So, I didn't know that. I'm just telling y'all bits about my life. And in South Carolina's school system, that Texas warden and that Florida warden, limiting education and knowledge and shit, that is an everyday occurrence. They was doing that in the South. Thank goodness, Dr. Karinga. No, Carter Woodson. Thank goodness. Black History Week. One thing our predominantly African American school, high school did was Black History Week. And I learned so much. But anyway, other than that, sewing, cooking, hair doing. You could go to like college and stuff like that, but a lot of them, those parents were African American Greeks. African American Greeks are the ones who go to college and they pledge Greek. They pledge to adhere to all that, and that's a whole white fraternity sorority thing. But they say black. I always thought it was black would be the Egyptians. But that's just me. They going with the Greeks. So if your mother or father was connected to a college and was with the Greeks, then they would set you up. That's your whole educational system. So you would get the education. And the other of us wouldn't. And all the Greeks, they ran everything. You know, a lot of Greeks were the cheerleaders. A lot of Greeks were the football, basketball players. When I say Greeks, I'm saying their parents. And they setting them up for scholarships and stuff. They sung choir. Though I didn't come from a Greek family, and neither did, Audrey. Audrey's mother and father weren't Greek, but she had sisters and brothers who had gone to college and pledged Greek. So we were in choir. I just went for that. But anything else, political science, debating, anything like that, no. You got a few Greeks in the band, quite a few Greeks in the band. Parents who pledged and graduated from college. So I knew I didn't fit into any of that. And also it's a clique. And also it's the cults. My grandmother had a little cult Baptist church. There was big cult Baptist churches. And if you went to one of them big cult Baptist churches, then you were able to get the scholarships and stuff like that. So, the days. So, you couldn't learn anything in the learn a trade. So, I wanted to learn something. My mother left Virginia, came to New York. She wanted to learn something. She wanted to get more education. Poor thing. She didn't know. She didn't know. She just left one penal state and ran to another penal state. If you were in the military, you got education. But she was comfortable in knowing. She blamed Virginia. She said Virginia didn't send her transcripts. And quite frankly, they probably burned them up or used them as toilet paper to wipe their asses in Virginia. So, in my head, my mother, she supported education. See, she told me I was going to be a writer. So she supported my education. So right then and there, that separated me from me and my cousins. Right then and there. So I said, oh my goodness, well, walking around, vibing with the ancestors. They said, you got to learn something. You got to find something that you'll be allowed to learn. But you see, I didn't know this was a cult. This is how I had to think. What will I be allowed to learn? So, walking all over. I walked behind the Battery. This is Charleston. Walked all over. And as I'm coming down by the South Carolina Veterans Administration Hospital, I think I saw a candy stripe coming out. And I said, that's what I'm going to do. That's it. That I'm a volunteer and do that. I can get out the house. That is something that no matter, no cult, because this is my grandmother's desire. This is my grandmother's desire. Not the cult leader, the woman. Her desire was to be a nurse. So I walked right in, filled out that application, and she had to get parental. And I took it home to her, and because she had to sign it, and she gave me the biggest smile, and I said, I am out of this cult. But I had a few years. And that's how I learned in school. Because when you're in cult penal colonies, that's the difference between the penal colonies. But when you're in a cult-controlled penal colony, learning ain't what them schools is for. Whew! That's the last thing. Oh my goodness. So, I was volunteering at the hospital. And that was acceptable. Every now and again, I could say, they want to know if I can come in on Sunday. Can I miss church? They want me on the ward. And my grandma said, they want you on the ward. Okay, if you gotta go on the ward. I was like, oh yes. But still, I didn't know I was a cult. I'm going through all this. I don't know what's called. I can't even tell you why I was going through it. I was like, what kind of... So, in the grooming process in cults, they don't like education. So where I would come home from school with books, I'm like, yeah, I'm studying them. I'd wake up in the morning, my cousins be done tore up all my books. Couldn't keep pens, pencils, nothing. They went to school barehanded. Don't ask me. So thank goodness I had my job volunteering at the Veterans Hospital. So I could take my books to the Veterans Hospital and study there. Now you say, how did I get the books back to school? I didn't. I couldn't bring them back to school. Because for me to bring them back to school, I had to bring them home. And if they saw the books, they would tear them up. So, as long as I got my grades, and I could share my girlfriend's books in the nursing program. I told you I went to the nursing program, right? At school. That came up. And I was like, I can learn something now. Excuse me, y'all. I was like, I can learn something. I can learn stuff now. I can do graphs. I can do math. I could learn about giving shots, blood pressure. We had to learn anatomy, physiology. I had to learn shit. I was so happy. Because I know vibing with my mother, that's all she wanted. She was like, get it in here, get it in here, get it in here. I was like, I'm trying. But I didn't know it was a cult thing. Lee Remini. But I didn't get there yet. Oh, I'm going to have to make this like part 2. So, that's what allowed me to learn stuff. Volunteering at the Veterans Hospital, then taking a nurse's course you know, taking that vocational nurses course. And then I was part of the choir. So those were acceptable school things that you were allowed to be away from the house for. And, oh man, every time I had to go back in that house, oh, the ancestors almost had to survive. They literally had to push me down the street, push me in the house, saying, no, you will not sell pussy. No, you ain't selling pussy to survive. Get your ass back in that house. This is going to pass. You're going to be better. You're going to be above this. And they pushed me. And I would go back in. And sometimes I would walk in and start swinging from the time I hit the door. Whew! But they were breaking me. I still hadn't been broken enough. I was still smart enough to get out of the house, to get out of the church activities, and to get away from them. And like I said, I didn't know it was a cult. I learned about grooming. I didn't know I was being groomed. I think that's what I'll put on the title for Monday. I didn't know I was being groomed. I didn't know I was being cult groomed. How you like that? Okay, we got the 8-pound weights. I went up to 10, but I came down. Hold on. Let's get everything together. Okay. Just 5. Tuck in the elbow. Squeeze your core. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to focus on the elbow because I don't want the hand to bring the weights up. I want the arm that's attached to the elbow. Tuck in your elbow. Squeeze your gut. Neither up nor really down. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost good luck. I think I did an extra one there. You may think these little exercises are nothing, but let me tell you something. I be lifting stuff. I be moving stuff. I be carrying stuff like this. I can latch onto a jaw. So, thanks for coming on a walk. What I say part 2 is going to be cult grooming. Cult grooming. But I fought against it, y'all. But then, to wind up being like a 20-year-old, 30-year-old in New York, and being taught devil, I was taught devil in the Baptist church. I wasn't taught Christian because we couldn't mention Christ, we couldn't mention Jesus, we couldn't mention God in the house. Only names we mentioned was devil, Lucifer. Oh, what's the other name they had for? Devil, Lucifer. Oh, it's something else they used to call. And that's what I learned. So, part 1, I'll do the next one, cult grooming. But that's why I exercise, y'all. This is what kept me together, you know, and the ancestors. That's what kept me together and going. I'm always going to take care of my body. I say my buddy. my buddy. You take care of your body and your buddy. See you Monday. Have a great weekend.